Good afternoon. Rail passengers across England are experiencing another day of disruption as members of the RMT union stage a strike in the long-running dispute about pay and conditions. Today's action is affecting services by 14 different train operators. The Transport Secretary, Mark Harper, accused the union of acting cynically, targeting those trying to get to the Eurovision Song Contest. But the head of the RMT, Mick Lynch, says it's the government's own laws that are to blame. Mr Lynch has written to the Transport Secretary to call for an industry summit of unions, employers and government. Here's our business correspondent, Mark Ashdown.
Eurovision fans are flocking to Liverpool from all over the world to see the grand final. But the rail strikes are making travel plans complicated.
We just kind of have our hope that it's easier to get out rather than come to Liverpool, you know.
I was coming by train, but not possible, so we decided to take an Uber.
A day after ASLEF train drivers walked out, members of the RMT union are back on picket lines. Another 24-hour strike in their long-running dispute. With 19 rail companies expected to be affected, it's yet more frustration for passengers. The Rail Delivery Group represents the train companies. It's offered workers a backdated pay rise of 5% for 2022 and would then negotiate reforms ahead of a second year's pay rise. Union leaders say the situation is complicated and insist they haven't deliberately targeted big events.
If we didn't take strike action today, we wouldn't have been able to take any more during that mandate. So that's down to the anti-trade union laws. We've not targeted Wembley or Liverpool or any of the activities that people get up to. There isn't a day where people aren't undertaking important activities.
These are the first strikes for some months. After ASLEF walked out yesterday, the RMT is out for 24 hours today, coinciding with the Eurovision Grand Final. ASLEF have two more strike dates set for May the 31st and June the 3rd, the day of the FA Cup final at Wembley. The RMT has also now written to the Transport Secretary, Mark Harper, asking for a summit of unions, rail companies and the government to try and solve what it describes as a toxic dispute. The Department for Transport has not yet responded, but has insisted the pay offer is fair and reasonable. The operators have said this was their best and final offer. I've just been inside the station here at Euston and I've got to say there's quite a few trains running today. It's certainly a lot busier than yesterday. It was pretty much deserted, no trains running when the train drivers were on strike. The advice is still check before you travel. It's very patchy, nothing is guaranteed, and this disruption will continue into tomorrow, of course. Lots of trains will be in the wrong place. The big question everyone's asking now is when will this be solved? Come June, it will have been going on for 2 years. Well, look, I think that offer of a summit is as much of an olive branch as we've seen, certainly from the union side. No response just yet from the Department for Transport on that. One would imagine if they do sit down and talk, this focus will be on these reforms, things like Sunday working and the future of some ticket offices. They seem to be the sticking point. But no fresh talks planned as yet. What is planned, though, as I said, there is 2 more strike dates from ASLEF, and the RMT union has a mandate now for possibly 6 more months of action. Gareth.
Mark, joining us from Euston, thank you so much. Well, as we've been hearing, in just a few hours, the grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest will begin in Liverpool, the first to be held in the UK for a quarter of a century. My colleague Jane Hill is there with the best jacketing news. Jane.
Gareth, thank you so much. Welcome to Liverpool. Good afternoon from the Museum of Liverpool. It's actually really quite a few hours until it's actually curtain up. And despite those rail strikes, I have to tell you, the entire Liverpool waterfront area and all the streets beyond are absolutely teeming this lunchtime. The UK is hosting, of course, on behalf of last year's winners, Ukraine. Sadly, we know that they can't stage the show because of the continuing war there. So tonight's programme here in Liverpool, we are told, will very much reflect the culture of the host city and Ukraine. Sweden and Finland are among the favourites to win this evening. Our arts correspondent David Silito has been soaking up the atmosphere here.
Liverpool has become a carnival of Eurovision. Everywhere you look, there's a reminder of just what has arrived.
The city is awash with glitter and, well, there's only one word for it: rammed.
Just look at the queue for the Eurovision Village, and this is just the build-up. The main event is going to be even busier. And among it all today was one very excited fan. Josh.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Are we going in there then? Oh my gosh.
When tickets went on sale in March...
Oh my God, I think I'm going to cry.
We were with him when he thought he'd managed to get into the final.
Yeah, I got a VIP package. We actually... Oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack.
And then was crushed when it didn't go through.
Tickets for the grand final have now sold out. That's what it says. What can you do?
However, perseverance pays off.
Something might happen, you never know.
He and his mum finally did get tickets.
That was a bad day for you, wasn't it?
Yes, I was devastated. But now I'm going to the final. Twice.
Twice?
Yeah, I'm going to the VIP in the morning, hospitality, to the preview, and then I'm going to the live final in the evening, so...
Perseverance,
Yeah.
perseverance.
This is what dreams are made of.
The performers have also been out and about. Here, Finland.
Did you have to be convinced to wear this?
No. I love it. First time when I see that. I mean, give me that. Because when I put it on, I feel so superhero.
So, the fans are here in force, and the blue and yellow of Ukraine is everywhere. And there'll be a lot of attention on how the country is represented in tonight's show. Eurovision's no politics rule means there'll be no video address from Volodymyr Zelensky, but rehearsals are being watched closely to see how far a contest staged in the UK can reflect Ukraine. David Silito, BBC News, Liverpool.
And our culture editor, Katie Razzle, is here in Liverpool with me. And of course, I mean, Eurovision is not to everybody's taste. We do understand that. But why is it so important here tonight?
Well, I was going to say, you and I have gone for a bit of sparkle, but I think we're a bit understated compared with what's going on out there. I mean, I have seen glitter, sequins, the most fabulous outfits. But you're right, Eurovision is about more than that. For Liverpool, it's about boosting the local economy. There's huge numbers of tourists here. That fan village, which is due to open soon, they've already seen twice the number of people they were expecting. Up to 200,000 people have been through there, and the contest isn't even over. And then for this city, but also for the UK more widely, we're in the global spotlight. 160 million people are going to tune in tonight. So it's our opportunity to showcase Ukraine's history and culture, but also to show off our great musical traditions and culture. As you say, it's not to everybody's taste. And some of the songs, I would say, are frankly bizarre. But Eurovision is a celebration of so much, of cooperation, of everybody's musical traditions, of dancing like nobody's watching, and also of acceptance. That's a key thing for Eurovision. And this is a really important day for the LGBT community.
It really is. Thank you so much, Katie. More from you a little bit later. And I promise you, Katie's right. We are both massively underdressed. It all gets underway tonight. 8 o'clock this evening is when it all kicks off. You can watch it live, of course, on BBC One and the BBC iPlayer. You will have to stay up late to catch the UK's entry, because May Muller, you may know, is the final act to perform this evening. More from Liverpool a little bit later. Gareth, back to you in the studio.
Jane, thank you so much. Ukraine's President Zelensky is in Rome, where he's meeting Italian leaders before having an audience with Pope Francis. On his arrival, he tweeted that it was an important visit for what he said was the approaching victory against Russia. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has strongly backed Ukraine, but her coalition includes parties led by Silvio Berlusconi and Matteo Salvini, both long-term allies of Vladimir Putin. That's it for now. The next news on BBC One is at 5:15. Thanks for watching.